Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Janae, and in this video I'm going to be talking about all the books I've read in 2024 so far. It's looking a little empty on the bookshelf, and that's only because I have all the books. I pulled all the books off that I've read so far so that I can show you guys as I'm talking about them. So let's get into it. I want to start off by saying my goal for 2024 was 50 books. And so far I've read 13, I believe. So I'm like 3 books behind because I'm supposed to be on book 16 by the end of this month, which is April. So we're going to push so we can get to 16 books by the end of April. Yeah. So, and another thing, this book I'm going to talk about right here, it is part 2 of a book that I read at the end of 2023 called Twisted Love. And they're just, standalone series. So this book right here is called Twisted Games. I don't know if y'all can see that. Ooh, that's into the light. Twisted Games by Huang. And I think Anna only writes romance because this book and the next 2 books after are romance. This book was 421 pages. And it's like forbidden love. Bridget and Reese are not supposed to fall in love because 1, she's a princess, and 2, he's her bodyguard. So they're not supposed to fall in love, but they do anyways. And they end up getting married, having kids. But there's like an underlying plot in it, because if you just look at if you know about the Twisted series, it's a lot of sex in these books. And I don't really like all of that. I want a good plot underneath all of that that's going on. And I can say that the underlying plot for this book wasn't that good. I kind of rated this book, I rated this book a 6 out of 10 because there's a lot of royalty stuff going on in here. And it was actually kind of boring because I don't know nothing about royalty. And I'm honestly not, that eager to learn about it. So I was just like, okay, can we get over the royal stuff? Can we just... I wanted the book to end, okay? I was actually ready to give up because it was so boring. Yeah, 6 out of 10. Remember that. Okay, and the next book I'm reading from my book review notebook. I have one. Yeah, for every book that I've ever read, I just write it down and write a review. The next book is called Twisted Hate. Twisted Hate. This is what she looks like. Twisted Hate by Huang. Okay, she's thick too. Okay. This book was 498 pages, and it's like an enemies to lovers trope. I like enemies to lovers tropes. Look, that's like my favorite romantic trope is like enemies to lovers, because enemies to lovers, they just have tension in the wrong place. Like they have it towards each other and the tension is there. They're just using it the wrong way. That's my opinion on that. I was a fan of the book. Like Josh and Jules, they were cute together. Like I liked them together. They were it was like opposites attract. But why is the book almost 500 pages? Like, Anna, sweetie, can we find a way to wrap this up sooner? And then it was just like the underlying plot was kind of there, okay? It was there. But I was just like, okay. Okay. Jules has this like really psychotic ex, and he's like threatening to like expose her. Like, I think she has like a sex tape. He's like threatening to expose her like sex tape or whatever. And like Josh finds out, and he like beats this man with like an inch of his life. But he's a doctor. So I'm like, this isn't fitting for you, sweetie pie, because you're supposed to save lives, not endanger them. Like what are we doing right now? What are we doing? It was so off-putting for his character, and I didn't like it. Wasn't a fan. Okay, next book. Twisted Lies. Twisted Lies. Literally, what the heck? Literally, this book is 551 pages. What can I say? I was excited about this book, okay? Because in all of the Twisted books, they're all friends. It follows just a group of friends, 4 friends. Ava, Jules, Bridget, Stella, and their love lives. And this is Stella's book, and Stella is Black. From the descriptions, she's Black. I was excited for her book. but it was just a flop. Like, I got let down so bad because the book is so long. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not want to shy away from a thick book, but this book just is thick for no reason. Like, it's thick for no reason. This book could have been about 300 pages shorter, maybe 200 pages shorter, stopped at like 300 something, but it was just on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And I feel like she spent so much time in the middle doing absolutely nothing that when we got to the end, it was just forced and rushed and pushed. And I was like, girl, I'm confused. What is going on here? I'm confused. But I was all over the book. I didn't even care to get clarification. Next one. Oh, I get a book a 6 out of 10, just to let y'all know. The next book I read is 5 Total Strangers. You can see this is a different book. This is a different book because I was tired of romance. This is 5 Total Strangers by Natalie D. Richards. You see, it's kind of thinner. I learned my lesson with the Twisted series. Anyways, I get this book a 5 out of 10. I was not a fan. Y'all can hear me say I was not a fan a lot, but I didn't like this book because, number one, Mira is trying to get home to her mom in the middle of a snowstorm, okay? She's trying to get to Philadelphia. Well, she's stuck at the Philadelphia airport, and she's trying to get home to her mom. It's the middle of the holidays. She's trying to get home to her mom. The holidays is bad because her auntie just passed away. Okay, boom. That's fine. Cool. She gets in the car with these people. They don't even know each other. Like, none of them know each other. So she's literally in the car with 4 other people who don't know each other just to get home. And they kept stopping, and they kept having to do this. They kept having to do that. They kept having to let's stop here. Let's get a phone. Let's do it. And then in the midst of all of this, people's stuff is disappearing. People stealing chargers. Somebody's phone went missing. Somebody's wallet gone. What is happening? Y'all don't even know each other, and they all start accusing each other of, oh, you stole my stuff. No, you stole my stuff. No, it's in your bag. No, it's in your bag. They're like, everybody empty out their bags. They emptying out the bags. They found all this stuff in somebody's bag. What is going on? So it's already messy, and to top it off, the main character, her name is Mira. She's been getting letters from this stalker man or whatever. I'm sorry if y'all hear a plane landing. I live right by the airport. She's getting messages from this stalker, and the stalker's in the car. And then I have this big fight scene at the end, and then girl, messy. If I could make one word for that book, it was messy. Okay, moving on. Next book I read is Icebreaker. Didn't I say I definitely told myself I was swearing off romance after the Twisted series, but here I am again. That book, 5 Total Strangers, really just messed up my perception of psychological stuff. I really didn't like it. Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Pretty sure I've seen this book all over TikTok. I have too, and I don't even know why I decided to read it. Because the Twisted series, those were like going on viral on TikTok, and then I was like, okay, let me read them. Icebreaker also went viral on TikTok. And I'm gonna say this. What is going on with the TikTok reads? Because if you read a lot of the romance TikTok reads that they give out, they're just a bunch of sex with no plot. This is that book, a sex with no plot. Like, it came to a point where I was just skipping the sex scenes. I was like, okay, girl, get me to the book. Get me to the book for real. Because I'm tired of reading this stuff, man. Tired of reading that stuff. I gave that one a 7 out of 10. I hated one of the characters real bad. His name is Aaron. If you know, you know. I hated him really, really bad. It was really predictable. They met. I'm not talking about Aaron. I'm talking about Hannah. Jesus Christ. I'm having a lot of brain farts today. I'm talking about Anastasia and what's that boy name? Nate. Anastasia and Nate. Yeah, they ended up falling in love in college, and then they ended up getting married and having a kid. So shocking. Like, I definitely wouldn't have guessed that one. Definitely wouldn't have guessed that one. Moment of silence. Next book. Next book I read is this one. It's called In 5 Years by Rebecca Serle. This one was nice. I actually enjoyed this book very much. Because the way the synopsis is set up, she goes, when I say she, I mean Danny. She goes to sleep one night, and she wakes up in a completely different apartment with a completely different man. And it's set 5 years into the future. And it's just for that one night, for like, I think like an hour. And she goes back to sleep, and she wakes back up in the apartment with her current fiance, and she's like, what was that about? So for 5 years, this is like the only thing on her mind. Like, this is the only thing on her mind. Like, it's been haunting her at night. And she's just like, dude, who was that man? Why was I in that apartment? What is going on? Y'all, this book made me think. I was like, oh my gosh, what? It's not what you think. Like, literally, it's literally not what you think at all. I definitely didn't expect what happened in this book to happen in this book. It's definitely a shocker. I would definitely recommend this book. Like, this book is really good to me. I gave that one, what did I give that one? I gave that one a 7.5 out of 10, only because they were like slow times. And I was like, okay, can we get to the point? I like to get to the point. Okay, I like to get to the point. The first 30 pages of a book are the hardest for me because I want to get to the point immediately, okay? Next book I read is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Romance, okay? Emily Henry, I like her, okay? That's why I picked up this book, because I read a book of hers last year called Book Lovers, and that was really good. So Emily Henry, she had a good, you know, a good star in my book. So I was like, okay, Emily, let's see what you got going on here, okay? Cute. Let's start there. Cute. Okay, Poppy and Alex. They're friends. And I don't really like the friends to lovers trope too much, but she did it really well, and I actually enjoyed it. So Poppy's in travel writer, and she usually takes Alex along on these trips where she has to travel, until one time they went to travel and it really messed up their relationship because something happened. Now, readers don't know what happened. We don't find out until later in the book, but great read. Great read. And she hasn't talked to him in like 2 years, but his brother's getting married, and she got invited to the wedding, and she's like, oh, I can travel close to where the wedding is, and I can take Alex with me. We can mend our relationship. Smart girl. It actually worked. Okay, it actually worked, because he agrees to go on the trip with her, and you just see how the relationship changes and how it mends and how it started, because it's a lot of time jumps from the past to the present, and I actually liked it. It was beautiful writing, beautiful story. Shout out to Emily Henry. Okay, next book is Three Perfect Liars by Heidi Perks. Heidi Perks. Look at that cover, y'all. Look at that cover. I was definitely a fan of the cover. That's what made me like pick it up in the first place. It was kind of a letdown, just a little bit. Just a little bit of a letdown. The ending was a little confusing. The endings seemed thrown together and rushed. I don't like those types of endings. I like an ending that actually took time and planning. You didn't just throw it together because you're like, oh my god, my book is about to end, I have to put something together. I don't like those types of endings. The motive seemed a little off, because somebody set fire to this building, and they're trying to figure out who did it, and they're like 3 main suspects. It's Laura, Mia, and Mia's sister. I forgot her name. I think her name's like Janie or something. Laura is an associate at the firm that got burned down. Mia was filling in for Laura while she was on maternity leave, and Laura comes back, and Mia's like, okay, I'm not going anywhere, I'm staying here. And Janie is Mia's sister, and I feel like I'm explaining it wrong, but it was confusing, y'all. It was confusing to me. I was confused. Half the time I didn't know what was going on, okay? Christ on a cracker. Next book I read, Mixed Signals by B.K. Borison. What y'all want from me? Like, what y'all want from? I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. What y'all want from me? It was cliche. It was a cliche little romance story. I think this was just like my in the between books. It was just a little cliche little story or whatever. That one was a 6.5 out of 10 in my book. Okay. Now the next book I read, I don't have it because it's on my Kindle. I don't have a physical copy of it. I do, but I linked it to a friend. A Little Life. A Little Life by Hanya Yanighara, okay? That book was 816 pages. And that book, every time I think about that book, I think my heart just cracks a little bit more. It just cracks a little bit more. It's really a story about a man who has really intense trauma, and he tries to navigate his life with that trauma and like make friends and, you know, live a normal life and things and such. And it's really about, it's a devastating book about devastating love. And, you know, I can't even explain it because I read that book, what is it, April? I read that book in March. I read that book in March last month. It took me, no, I started it in February. I finished it in March. I still can't talk about that book because it was just so heavy on the chest. Like I write down all my reviews. Do you guys see the empty space? That's for A Little Life. Because I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. And with that, I'm going to move on. If you guys want a detailed review of that book, please let me know. I'll find some words for you guys, okay? Next book is Brother, okay? By Ania Ahlborn. Woo! Woo! This book is insane, y'all. This book is insane. Oh my goodness gracious. I did not expect half the stuff out of this book that came out of this book. Dude, this book got an 8.5 out of 10, dude. Honestly, I was like, what is... Just read it. No, just go read it. This book is crazy. This book is actually crazy. I told my mom about this book. Mom, if you're watching, please go read this book now. Okay, please go read this book. I kind of spoiled it for her, but she should still go read it. Okay, and the last book that I read, I don't know if you guys remember. No, actually I didn't. This isn't the last book. Everything I Never Told You by Celeste. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, so I'm not even gonna try. By Celeste. This is actually a really nice book. It's a nice, cute little read. This one is, hold on. Let me flip back. This one is 292 pages, really cute read. It's basically about a family. Everything I Never Told You really applies to the family because the family has a lot of things that they should have said to each other, but they didn't. And then when their daughter ends up dead, it actually just makes them like say the things that they should have said to each other, basically. It's basically about a broken family with a favorite child, and the favorite child ends up dead. It blows the family apart. Really great book, really great read. I definitely would recommend 1000%. The last book I read for the year, I wouldn't say for the year, but we're caught up now, is If You Could See the Sun by Liang. This is the last book from my last video that I told you guys about, and I finished it like 2 days after I finished that video. I liked it. I actually like this book. It's like about academic rivalry, but it's also about how far people are willing to go for education and for bettering themselves, and how far people are willing to test their morality for money. I told you guys she turns invisible, so she starts, you know, doing things for people for money so she can pay her tuition. Why somebody say, I need you to set up a kidnapping, and she actually goes through with it? What? Are you serious right now? What? And it was also like enemies to lovers trope. I love making enemies to lovers trope. But yeah, If You Could See the Sun, that is the last book that I read. I'm currently reading a book called Bunny. Okay, I started it, but then it was like not doing it for me, so I started another book, but I do have to finish it. It's called Bunny. And then the other book I'm reading right now is called Hood Feminism. I feel like, You guys have heard of that one. I'm gonna put pictures in. That one is nonfiction, and I don't really like nonfiction, so it's gonna be a hassle for me to finish and read. But this is Bunny. It's by Mona Awad. Yeah, this is Bunny. If you see it on the internet, buy it. I just haven't given it a chance yet. I'm like kind of, I don't know where I am in the book because I kind of lost my bookmark, but that's not the point. But yeah, those are the books that I've read so far for the year. Many more to come because I do have a book goal of 50 books this year. We are gonna achieve that. So once again, thank you for watching. Okay, and if you guys want a detailed description of any of those books, please let me know. I'll give a video of any of the books that you guys want an in-depth review of. I will give you that. And if you missed any of the books, I will put them down in the description box for you guys. Okay, bye.